Yevgenia Belorusets is a contemporary Ukrainian writer, photographer, and artist. Her work, as she has stated, seeks to capture some of the aspect of the historical reality of Ukraine that, for all of its scale and significance, remains in shadow, unseen. The stories collected in Lucky Breaks, which appeared in English translation in 2022, focus on how traumatic events interfere with everyday life. They highlight the small, the accidental, the superfluous, the repressed, often combining conversational style with phantasmagoria. They also focus on women, for Ukrainian women are frequently unseen, forgotten in times of war, yet they are the very people who bear the traumatic scars of the past. Belorusets' stories and photographs examine how the war that began in 2014, with the Russian occupation of Crimea and subsequent conflict in eastern Ukraine, has affected everyday, ordinary Ukrainian women. In the story March 8th, The Woman Who Could Not Walk, an unnamed narrator recounts an astonishing spectacle she saw on March 8, 2016, on the Maidan Square in Kyiv. A perfectly normal woman strolled through the holiday fair, posing for a photo. She buys a beer and gives it to a stranger, eats ice cream, shops at the souvenir stands. Our narrator approaches her after she sits on a bench. By that point, the woman had frozen, as if she had grown one with the bench, and her feet had all but turned to stone. First she was bemused, then grew frightened as the hours passed. Still, she could not move. She told the narrator that maybe it was the day, International Women's Day, that had caused her condition, because people pay attention to women only on March 8th. But on other days, women were left to languish without attention in some backwater, with no holiday in the heart and no sense of personal dignity. Or maybe, she says smiling, it's because she knows a certain secret. Because of the secret, she cannot walk and will become a living monument, soft, unstable, and wobbly. In the end, we don't know what happens to her. Stories similar in tone feature a witch who catches all the babies in a Kyiv district with a mitt sewn from red and white cloth. A woman who despaired because she had been healthy for months and prayed to be struck ill. And a woman who may be 30, 40, or even 25, kind, witty, simple, who sews a nightshirt and leaves the needle in, causing a tear in the shirt and by her heart. Other stories feature the war and its traumas more directly. In The Florist, for example, the title character knows flowers better than everyone and is as beautiful as her arrangements. She was, as the story recounts, entirely unsuited for real life and only knows how to exist inside her store. She even works on Saturdays and Sundays. Then, in 2014, the year the war began, she disappeared. Her store turned into a warehouse of propaganda materials. Rumors circulated that she had joined the partisans, but no one could confirm or decide which side she fought on. The Manicurist also features a woman who disappears, this time a lonely woman who is loved by all her clients, but who no one gets to know. When a stranger starts working in her salon, he tells her former clients that she's sick and will be back soon. But as the story ends, we learn it's been 2 years and they're still waiting for her. The story My Sister might be the darkest of the bunch. It's summer 2014 in Donetsk. A family is deciding whether they should flee to Kyiv. As cars collect to take them, the narrator's sister cries out, "I'm staying here." The narrator muses that her sister has come to rely on the soldiers who have occupied their town, cooking for them, listening to them. Her life, her desires, dreams, and hopes, the narrator recounts, make sense only so long as our city was occupied by armed men, soldiers, unknowns. Then 2 men jump out of a car and take the sister away. She is gone for months, and we lost all communication with her, the narrator says. We silenced ourselves and never spoke of her. She returns, lives with the family again, works again. There's nothing more to tell, the narrator says, for she doesn't tell us anything, but we don't ask her anything either. The stories of Yevgenia Belorusets make the reader feel unease. They focus on oddities, strange occurrences, disappearances. They reveal how people vanish during wars, but don't provide details, forcing us, the reader, to fill them in and feel deeper unease. They are funny, yet often filled with horror. As one critic has concluded, they're about refugees, the loss of place, how social networks can suffer, and how traumas too difficult to articulate affect all of us.